Terra to Saitama. In the One Punch Man universe, Saitama is the strongest, with Saitama breaking his limiter and becoming the strongest being in existence, with Saitama's strength seemingly having no limit as he can defeat every monster no matter what threat level with just a single punch, defeating warriors like the dominator of the universe Boros, who can rip apart the entirety of the planet's surface, and can even defeat the monster who became a god, as even though Garo reached down for God's hand, he couldn't save him from Saitama's fist. But now we finally get the answer to my question in my Saitama video. Can the creation defeat the creator? Can Saitama defeat God? In the One Punch Man fan manga titled Battle of the Gods, or better known as Terra 2, we finally get to see the showdown between the strongest, the human who broke his limiter, versus the god who placed it on him. Within this story, we learn that Saitama's galaxy is one of many dimensions that are connected throughout the multiverse, with each of these dimensions being connected through black holes, with these black holes being stated to be inaccessible to any biological life form. However, there are new beings that have arisen out of nowhere that can travel through these dimensions whenever they want, with them being discovered to be higher dimensional beings, or better known as gods, with these god beings causing destruction throughout multiple galaxies within the multiverse. And one of the survivors travels to Saitama's Earth. She tells Saitama and the rest of the heroes that these god beings are targeting this galaxy next, but she seems to have lucked out, as this galaxy has the One Punch Man defending it, with one of these god beings using the black hole to travel throughout the multiverse and ends up in Saitama's universe, with Saitama telling her that he will be the one to kill God. Using the dimensional stone that is stated to allow biological life forms to travel throughout the stars, they arrive in the presence of God, with all of them traveling to the battlefield and Saitama looking up. We now get to see the fight for the multiverse begin. Garo and Genos jump into the fight immediately, using their abilities against God, with Garo using his martial arts, the flowing water smashing rock fist, and Genos using incineration cannon at its max power. But it does absolutely nothing. With Genos about to be hit with a head-on attack from God, he is pushed out the way by Saitama, who takes the brute force of the attack. And as Saitama's body hits the mountains in the distance, he looks up and says that this is bad. With Garo and Genos defeated, Saitama knows that he forgot to save his game before switching off the console. With Saitama exploding with anger over the loss of his game progress, he attacks God head-on, with Saitama punching God so hard that he sends him flying into the air. And as Saitama jumps off to finish off the attack, God opens up his face and charges up an energy blast to fire at Saitama. And as God shoots the blast point blank at Saitama, Saitama clenches his fist and pulls out a killer move. Serious punch. With both attacks connecting, Saitama is able to cancel out his blast, and this sends a shockwave throughout the entire world. But that's when God hits Saitama so deep into the earth that he almost reaches the core, with Saitama's single punch leaving his body mangled, and he even admits that Saitama is a powerful life form. Saitama is at the bottom of the earth, smiling that he can finally get serious. God explains that not even fourth-dimensional beings can defeat him, and across the multiverse there are other gods of even higher dimensions with power that cannot be comprehended, with God seemingly referencing another being, as he says, "For him, you are all mere dust," with God going on to explain that the destruction of third-dimensional creatures is quite simple. Only one method is required to decompose all organic matter. This method being the disintegration into one-dimensional matter as commanded by the gods, judgment. And with a wave of his hand, every single being on planet Earth began to disintegrate away. With Saitama still within the earth, he takes a deep breath and jumps to the surface. But at this time, Garo is fighting against God, with them trying to use the dimensional stone to finally put him down. However, God was able to absorb the power of the stone and then asks them, "Did you really think that a mere space-time stone could defeat a god? Things like space and time are still under my dominion. He goes on to explain that he's a higher dimensional being that controls all of space and time, with there being 5, 6, 7, or even higher dimensional spaces with even more space-time axes. Earth scientists believe that there are up to 11 dimensions in the universe. However, in the cosmic depths, in the dark recess beyond human comprehension, exists a being of even higher dimensions, capable of bending the universe and all its inhabitants. At the end of the battle, Garo and everyone else was killed by God. However, arising from the earth is this galaxy's last stand. Saitama has come back to fulfill his promise to kill God. Saitama launches himself in the air and gets right in God's face. With everyone else on Earth gone, he doesn't have to hold back. So now it's time to let it all go. Killer move. Serious series. Serious punch. Saitama punches God so hard in the face that it makes the entire planet shake, with Saitama grabbing his head and sliding his face across the entire continent. Saitama uses even more strength as he picks up his head and throws him across the entire solar system, with God's body slamming into a planet. As God gets up from the rubble, he begins drawing in countless rare minerals from the atmosphere and puts an entire layer of armor around his body to protect himself from Saitama's punches. With God locating Saitama, he realizes that this is no ordinary being. Saitama picks up a dimensional stone, and as God goes to punch Saitama, he winds up his own. And as their punches connect, the entire planet is destroyed. When we see the two next, we see that Saitama is completely fine. However, God's body was completely eviscerated. When God regenerates his body, he sends Saitama to a fourth-dimensional space-time array, where time will revert continuously, with Saitama's body reverting back to how it was before his training. However, Saitama realized that the key to getting out of this was speed. Saitama begins to run, running faster and faster, until he eventually surpasses the speed of light and breaks out of the fourth-dimensional time array. When Saitama breaks out, he uses consecutive normal punches and eviscerates God's body yet again. God won't survive. Saitama winds up his last punch. It's over. When Saitama's punch connects, every planet, star, galaxy, and even the entire universe get completely wiped away, and Saitama stands alone as the victor, as the mortal who defeated God. In the end, Terra 2 Saitama would scale to complex multiversal with immeasurable speed. In the end, I guess we finally got the answer to the question I made in my video. But I guess it was kind of a stupid question anyway, because the question of who would win between this mortal and a god isn't even a question at all, because no god can defeat the One Punch Man. What's up guys, it's Divine. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And make sure you guys go follow the TikTok and join the Discord server. All the links for those will be in the description. But tell me in the comments, do you think that manga Saitama will ever be able to reach this level of strength? And tell me in the comments, who do you think can defeat this god killer, Terra 2 Saitama?